So they're putting offshore windmills because of climate, right? Turns out they're killing whales.
Oh.
Yes, but that's just the price for progress. Am I right, Kurt? I mean, just like with certain mandated medical procedure rollouts, there's going to be some collateral damage. Am I right? Come on.
Is that guy going to show up, the whale wars guy, and start attacking the windmills like he did, Japan?
Oh, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why doesn't that guy start attacking the windmills?
Well, that whole, the Japan thing was fake too. I mean,
was that fake?
The guy's a phony. Well, no, they eat whale. It's their diet. It's a staple of their diet in Japan. But they also have a whaling industry that makes sure, like how we have a corn syrup, you got to have some corn syrup. You got to have some whale in there.
You got to have some whale in there?
Yeah, the whale lobby's strong there.
So Michael Schellenberger says, for years, the government has insisted that the increase in whale deaths off the East Coast has no relationship to the wind industry's high decibel pile driving and boat activity. But now a new documentary thrown to the wind based on new research is going to challenge that.
1,000%. That is the boat. Let's bring it to Dead Star. I saw another whale had washed up. It's becoming a pattern. Is it the windmills? Is it the pounding of the seafloor? How many whales is it going to take?
There aren't many places where the North Atlantic right whale can go. It's destined to extinction.
It sounds like they're like it's on pile driving.
This is what the whale is experiencing, and nothing on pile.
What the United States is looking at is thousands of wind turbines in an area that our whales, our dolphins, our marine life, where they live, where they migrate, where they breed. It's only when they started going into the wind lease areas that we believe that the whales are dying.
So those red dots are whale deaths.
Precisely.
What a scandal.
It really is the ultimate irony. That's how we're going to finally kill off the whales, with our green energy.
With our green energy. Why can't they put those windmills on land? Every time I get in a plane, all I see is empty land in America. Just from here to Vegas, you could put enough goddamn windmills.
I'll bet you, now just pulling this out of my ass, but when they put them on land, kills a bunch of birds.
Kills a bunch of birds.
So like when Michael Moore, before I guess he finally was like, I'll never try to be honest even a little bit again.
Yeah.
And he put out that green energy thing that got immediately attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a good boy after. Like, all this green energy ain't green. It requires slavery and dead whales.
And batteries and
it's all a lie. So
it's all lies, yes. So industrial wind projects could have population level effects on an already endangered and stressed species, warned top U.S. government scientists last year. Disturbance to right whale foraging could have population level effects on an already endangered and stressed species. The right whale population is food resource limited and generally in poor body condition. Right whales are chronically stressed from food limitations, entanglement, sublethal vessel strikes, and noise, displacement from a prime portion of their only winter foraging grounds due to disruptions in forage, could have extremely detrimental energetic effects, resulting in reduced calving, meaning little baby whales, success. Additional noise, vessel traffic, and habitat modifications due to offshore wind development will likely cause added stress that could result in additional population consequence to a species that is already experiencing rapid decline, 30% in the last 10 years. Under pressure from the White House, the U.S. government has ignored its top scientist and push forward to industrialize the oceans and risk the extinction of the North Atlantic right whale. So there's your environmentalists. So I know there's people who think they vote for Democrats and they're doing a good thing for
trillion times better, Jimmy.
Doing good things for the right. It's a shell game. They'll say, oh, okay, well, we'll give you back we're going to protect endangered species, but we're going to kill a bunch of whales, and we're going to open the Arctic and the Alaska to drilling, and we're going to blow up the Nord Stream pipeline. And so if you're voting for the Democrats because you think they're better on anything with the environment, you're a chump. You're a chump. Because the Democrats will do exactly what the fossil fuel industry wants them to do, the military-industrial complex and Wall Street. They'll do exactly what they want them to do when the push comes to shove.
But Jimmy,
the Republicans and the Democrats are driving towards a cliff The Republicans are driving at 95 miles an hour, and the Democrats are driving at 94.5 miles an hour. And you think there's a difference, and you're a chump if you think that. Go ahead, Kurt.
But Noam Chomsky just told me on a video I watched
I know.
very slowly about how, it's existential.
Yes.
Yeah, for whales.
Well, Michael Schellenberger says, wind energy companies and their foundations have donated nearly $4.7 million to at least 3 dozen donations to major environmental organizations. Linowis, she is the executive director of Wind Action Group, who appears in that documentary and is widely credited with publicizing the connection between offshore wind energy projects and whale deaths. So that's who this is. This woman, Linowis, has made public a report and a database documenting the conflicts of interest she discovered. The National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, a granting organization, took up to $1 million from wind energy companies.
It's all cost?
And distributed it to other environmental groups. In August 2020, the National Audubon Society received $200,000 from the New England Forest and Rivers Fund. The same year, the Nature Conservancy received $165,000 from the New England Forest and Rivers Fund. The Nature Conservancy has supported offshore wind since at least 2021. The New Jersey Audubon has partnered with wind farm developer Atlantic Shores, a joint venture between Shell Oil and EDF Renewables. Ocean Wind, another wind energy developer, has sponsored New Jersey's Audubon's World Series of Birding event multiple times. So this is what happens, right? So just like how they got the NAACP, they corrupt any organization you want.
ACLU
got totally corrupted, and for not a lot of money. And that's all it took. A couple of $100,000, maybe $1 million or $2 million, to get all these environmental groups to go along with the exact opposite of what their core mission is. So they're supposed to be preserving the earth, and what they're actually doing is preserving profits for fossil fuel companies to kill whales and to kill birds and whatever else.
Well, you ever watch some celebrity idiot at a fashion show talk about their nonprofit?
Yes.
Which I don't know if you know is a legal code for profit.
The wind industry has also made hefty donations to scientific organization. Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute received a donation of $500,000 from Ørsted in or after 2018. Woods Hole has endorsed offshore wind since at least 2019. The New England Aquarium received a donation pledge of $250,000 in 2018 from Bay State Wind. So all these companies that want to do wind, generate profits from putting windmills in the ocean that kills whales, are co-opting scientific organizations and environmental organizations with money. And that's what this is telling you. In October 2020, Mystic Aquarium featured an exhibit promoting offshore wind. In June 2021, Ørsted and Revolution Wind donated $1.25 million to Mystic Aquarium to create a new pro-offshore wind exhibit, but also to research the effects of offshore wind turbines on marine mammals and sea turtles. I wonder what their research has shown. I bet they're not really motivated to find out. I bet they're not really motivated to. By the way, Ørsted is a Danish multinational energy company and the largest energy company in Denmark. And as of January 2022, the company is the world's largest developer of offshore and wind power.
Of course. I mean, you know, the Shell Oil before, like, oh, that's encouraging. Shell Oil will be handling the green energy now.
Scientists representing many of the same environmental groups supporting the industrial wind energy projects wrote in 2021 letter that the North Atlantic right whale population cannot withstand any additional stressors. Any potential interruption of foraging behavior may lead to population level effects and is critical concern. So the same scientists that are fronting these windmill companies are the same scientists who said these windmills are going to kill all the whales.
Well, we own the science.
Well, we own the science. Wow. Oh, I see. So the scientists use the letter S when they refer themselves as scientists instead of the $sign. That's what that is, Kurt.
Oh, yeah,
recent studies show that it's easier to buy a hand job in. It's easier to buy a scientist around climate change than it is to buy a hand job in Las Vegas. Okay. How come it's not trust the science when it comes to this? How come it's not trust the science? I thought we were supposed to trust the
who
science.
owns it, though? Are you talking about free science?
Just free science?
Just lower quality science?
Okay.
You get the science you pay for.
You certainly do. So there you go. Fantastic. Again, climate change has been co-opted and is a scam. All the measures they're using to fight climate change are a scam by big business like Shell Oil and all these energy companies to make more profits. When they don't care how they hurt they don't care if you have to use slaves in Africa to take cobalt out of the earth and then and rape their land and the people and not pay a tax. They don't care if they have babies working in mines. They don't care how much it hurts the environment because they're pretending because it's going to make them money.
And if you, let's say, I don't know, help the natives somewhere, like as a lawyer, they'll ruin your life.
They'll ruin your life.
Daring to make them pay for the crimes they do.
That's right. So that happened to Steve Dosinger, who made, I think it was Exxon, or maybe Shell Oil. It was one of the big oil companies who polluted.
I think it was Shell. I
think it was Shell, maybe.
Record.
They got record fines of billions of dollars, and he was making them pay it. And so Shell Oil got a corrupt judge, the same corrupt judge who convicted Trump on that thing. They got the corrupt judge to put him in jail or to put him on house arrest for a couple of years.
How do these idiots, especially friends, a bunch of my friends are like scared shitless about climate change.
I know. And
so you just absorb any fucking buzzwords they tell you. You don't think it's suspicious that the same companies that were when this was first coming out, all these oil companies, the money wasn't going to this. It was going into Chicken Little cartoons.
Right.
To be there's no such thing
as climate change.
Now they're oh, this is really important. You guys really screwed up, you at home.
Yeah, here's how we're going to... They invented the whole idea of your carbon footprint. Who did the oil companies, right?
BP.
It was BP who came up with that?
The ones that wrecked the Gulf.
Yeah, they came up with the idea of, a carbon footprint. So now rich people can fly on jets and pay to carbon offset. But flying on jets creates climate change, so that's why you shouldn't do it.
They left a carbon asteroid size of Texas crater on the Earth, but your footprint...
I will say it one more time. I'll say it every time, is that the establishment is pretending to fight climate change. They're going to burn every last barrel of oil that's in the ground. And so instead of trying to get upset and trying to stop them from burning the oil and trying to stop traffic and protesting, what we should be doing is using our brain power to figure out how to live with the effects of a climate changed planet.
They're doing
because
that.
It's happening.
Yeah, no, they're doing that. It's just what they came up for you is eat bugs and these lab grown tumors. I'm telling you, I hope it's the most whoever's probably I don't think climate change is real. I hope that's what it is. I hope it's not what I think it might be, which is they figured out too late was 20 years ago, and now it's about managing your expectations.
That's right.
As you're outside the dome.
That's right. Too late was 20 years ago. That's right. They figured that out. And so now they're just trying to exploit it for money, which is what they do everything.
Get you chipped so we can keep
That's
your
right.
tracks.
Get you chipped. Hey, come see us live on tour. We'll be in Salt Lake City, New York City, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Stamford, Connecticut, Toledo, Detroit, St. Louis, Tampa, Boca Raton, and Orlando. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets. See you there.